Okay, let's move on with this module 2. Now, in the Huangji Jingsi Classic, if you happen to get hold of this book called Huangji Jingsi, inside there's one very important verse, and that opens up the whole repeatable system. Okay, it says 天这边是乾对离震. Loosely translated, it means heaven becomes four, 乾对离震. Then there's another pair verse, it's called 地这边是吉坤艮坎巽. Loosely translated, it says earth becomes four, 坤艮坎巽. Anybody can tell me, even for a refresher who attended this second time, maybe you want to refresh your memory, what does it mean by 天这边是 and 地这边是? What does it mean? Heaven becomes four, earth becomes four. What is your best understanding of this verse? Basically, Alan said yang become four, yin become four. Very good. Pepe say earlier heaven. Very, very good. So you remember, you remember your stuff. Very good. I'm glad. Okay, so trace back to I Ching fundamentals. So this diagram, I'm sure most all of you should understand. Okay, so understand this and know what it means here. Now, straight away you see that the 太极点, right? It can branch out into a yang and a yin. So yang means heaven, yin means earth, right? So if I can split it up, why I split it up like that is because the moment you split into heaven and earth, it will just go separately on one side, okay, and then go separately on the other side. So you have two camps. One is the yang camp, one is the yin camp, which in the book is called the heaven camp and the earth camp. So the heaven camp, when you go up all the way to the 8th trigram, you have the 乾对离震. Let us go back, go stand a bit. 乾对离震. Okay, so this is the heaven camp. The earth camp is 坤艮坎巽. Okay, so the earth camp is here, this part here. 坤艮坎巽. So therefore, this explains the what do you call that? The two verse just now, and then say, oh, then from here, once you read that and you understand this diagram here, then you know, oh, okay, Huangji Jingsi has fundamentals on I Ching, so maybe it's worth reading further. Okay, so this is called 天这边是地这边是. Then, as Pei Pei mentioned about earlier heaven 8 trigram, then we have to pull back again earlier heaven 8 trigram. If say, Master, may I ask how to balance yang and yin? How to balance yang and yin? Good question. How to balance yang and yin? Depending on what context you are asking about. If talking about health, okay, if you're talking about health, then it's a different balance game, ball game. Okay, then the qi and the xue must be balanced. The heatiness and the what do you call that, the other part is called what? The 湿气, okay, must be balanced also. Right? So you must look at the context, then we know how to say, how to balance the yin and yang. Okay, so next, when it comes to this earlier heaven 8 trigram, this is the diagram for earlier heaven 8 trigram. And then we go back to this 易经说卦传. It says 天地定位三则通气雷风相搏水火不相射. This 说卦传, this verse is very useful and has been used in many other systems. So in 黄帝经世 also is being used. 天地定位三则通气雷风相搏水火不相射. And then there's another verse in the 说卦传 says that 数往则顺知来者逆. Basically, it means 往, okay, 往, 数往, 往 means from bottom going outward. It's called 往, go away. It's called 往, okay. 知来, 来 means coming inward. 知来. Okay. So this is how timing goes. This is just to explain to you in 黄帝经世, this is how timing goes. Clockwise direction from bottom all the way to the top part and then down to the bottom again. Now, And then here there are 8 trigrams. So your understanding of the 8 trigrams become very important. So for those who have attended my what do you call that home frequency tuning program and the Yijing prediction program in module 4, earlier heaven 8 trigram representation, that is where your command of that module will come in very useful later on when we do the general analysis. Okay, why? Because when Qian Gua comes up, what does it mean? When Kun Gua comes up, what does it mean? When Zhen Gua comes up, what does it mean? Representation. So with a little bit of imagination, you can imagine next year what could happen, next year what could happen based on the trigram that is showing up. So I won't be going into how to understand the 8 trigram because those should be dealt with in the full course. But this is just a quick reference table of this is the first 4 trigram and then the related representation. Okay, this is the first 4. You don't have to memorize here. Later on, you can refer to this workbook for this table. And this is the second 4, the next batch of the 4 trigrams. So total 8 trigram and their frequent representation. So for those who have not gotten this ebook, we talk about the universal profiling system. That means the earlier heaven trigram and their representation. Uh, Remember to grab this book. This is an ebook, so that you can store in your laptop or phone, and then free time you can take it out and read again. Yeah, to understand the representation. How do we do the representation part? Okay, here now that we know this is tie, 黄极经世 is tie back to Yi Jing, then we know that Yi Jing starts from yin yang and then to the 先天后天八卦, and then from there when you stack on top each other, you have the 64 hexagram, and that is where things start to get very, very, very interesting. Okay, now the numbering on the right side here, this is the 64卦, the numbering that you see here, 1 to 64. This is called 序卦传. Okay, 序卦, no, this is not called 序卦传. This is called the numbering actually follows what is stated in the 序卦传, a module in Yi Zhuan. Okay, and you want to know why is it numbered in such a manner, then you should attend my, for AOM student, you should understand how it comes about already. Yeah, I won't be talking about this in this workshop because this is not the core part of it. Okay. Now, the interesting things comes in here. Inside the ring is the layout of the earlier heaven 8 trigram with Qian Gua on top, Kun Gua below, and then followed by Dui Gua, Li Gua, Zhen Gua. Remember the Tian 这边是, okay? 天这边是 means this is the 天这边是, right? And then the 地这边是 is here, okay? 地这边是. Right? So it's split up into 2 camp, the yang camp and the yin camp. Now, although Qian is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the numbering according to the earlier heaven 8 trigram. But we know, just now we already said the 数往则顺嘛, so it means that timing, even though the number ordering is like that, when timing goes, it is always going in this direction. In this direction, okay, in a cycle. One more thing, have you noticed, if you can enlarge the screen, you can notice this. Now, 乾卦 is on top, so that means the portion on top here, the portion, let me see, the portion on top here, okay, the portion on top here, right? The bottom one is always made of 乾卦, the bottom trigram. And then the 对卦 is here, right? So the 乾卦 is here. Then the follow one, the next 8 will be bottom trigram 对卦. And then followed by 离卦. Okay? Followed by 正卦. And then here will be 巽卦 at the bottom. Then followed by the 坎卦. Followed by the 艮卦. Then followed by the last group 坤卦. So the bottom ring is always following the inner ring, the layout of this earlier heaven 8 trigram. So once you know the bottom ring is arranged in this manner, then let us find out what is the order of the upper ring. Okay, what is the order of the upper ring? Huh? The upper ring will be something like this. Okay, so let's say we talk about the qian gua, the qian group, which is this part here. So bottom is all the qian gua, right? Bottom is all the qian gua. Now let's take a look at the upper trigram. It follow the same order. Okay, follow with this one: 乾卦、兑卦、离卦、震卦、巽卦、坎卦、艮卦、坤卦. So it follow like that, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8, and then you move on to 对卦, right? Again, it goes on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go to 离卦. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it goes on all the way until you complete the 震卦. Okay. I hope you can follow me so far. So this is the 天之变式. This is the order. Okay, this is the order. Now 地之变式 will be similar order. Okay, will be similar order. In this manner. Look at the right side here. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it goes out like that. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. All the way until you hit the kun gua. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is how you don't have to memorize which gua in which position and things like that. As long as you can remember how the earlier heaven 8 trigram is being arranged, all you need is just to expand out, and then you do that same ordering to the above trigram. At this point, can you all follow me? Type a yes in the chat box if you are still with me. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, Monkey. No brainer, right? Very easy, right? Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Eve. Great, great, great. Okay, good. So now, the moment you understand this circular diagram, we call it circular diagram, because by right, there's another square diagram inside, 天圆地方, but we don't talk about the square diagram for today. We don't confuse everyone. Okay, Pepe say, can share how the hexagram is arranged again? Okay. Can anyone else have the same request as Pepe? The bottom trigram follow this flow. Okay, follow this flow. The 天之变式, the heaven cam will follow this flow. The earth cam will follow this flow. That is for the bottom trigram, right? So since you're on this slide, let's talk about the earth cam first. Oops, the earth cam. So once we have established the bottom trigram already, the top trigram, you just follow the earlier heaven sequence from 1 to 8. Once you finish one set, you go to the next set, 1 to 8, and then next one, 1 to 8, next one, 1 to 8, all the way to the kun gua. For the heaven cam, it is also the same. For the heaven cam is also the same. The top trigram also follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but in this orientation. Okay, do the same until you hit 正卦. Can follow, Pei Pei? Good to go. Okay. If you still have question, Pei Pei, continue to type in the chat box. Otherwise, I'll just move on. Right. So that is all for module 2. Just want to show you the relationship between Huangji Jingsi and the earlier heaven 8 trigram. Pepe is asking why until 正卦 as it is the end of left cam. Yeah, 天之变式. So as long as you cover 4 on the left side, you have completed the left cam. Then you move on to the right cam. Isn't that so? Okay, let's move on to module 3, structure of HJJS. Now that we know the circular diagram, everything become very easy already because we will be keeping using the circular diagram. Remember just now we talked about the time serialization system, which is almost similar to the way the Hjjs-Year system works. By right, it should be almost very similar. Okay, because to mark time, to record time, we still need the year pillar, the month pillar, the day pillar, and the hour pillar. Okay. Pepe is asking Li first is Li. I don't get you. Li first is Li over Xun. What is your question about? Li first hexagram. Okay. Now Li heaven cam or earth cam? Li is heaven cam or earth cam? Good. Thank you, Eve. Heaven cam. Heaven cam means on the left side. On the left side. Right? So Pepe, do you get the heaven cam also? Or you're telling me it's earth cam? Heaven cam. So you agree it's heaven cam. Okay. So let's talk about heaven cam. So that means we can ignore the earth cam, the right side cam. We just concentrate on the left cam. So Pepe want to ask Li Gua first hexagram. What is that? Li Gua first hexagram. What is that? Okay. So don't talk about Li Gua first. Let's talk about Qian Gua first. If Qian Gua, what is the first hexagram? The first one is always Qian Gua on top. No matter which trigram you're talking about, the first hexagram always have Qian Gua on top. That's why it's numbered as number 1. So for Li Gua, Pepe, you tell me, for Li Gua, the number 1 hexagram in Li Gua, what is the hexagram? Darren said, looking at the flow of the hexagram, it gives me another view. If one do well as Qian trigram example, we can learn to go through the flow of 1 to 8 hexagram. Can I say it this way? Yes, that's right. It will move in that manner. So Pepe, can you try to attempt this one? Now you know Qian Gua, the first hexagram is always on top is Qian Gua. Same with Dui Gua, same with Li Gua, same with Zheng Gua. So for your question just now, Li Gua, what is the first trigram on top? First trigram on top, what is the number 1 trigram based on the earlier heaven arrangement? Qian Gua. So Qian Gua pair with the Li Gua below, what do you get? That's right, 同人卦. Now let's try again. 正卦. 正卦, what is the first pair? What is the first hexagram for 正卦? Thank you very much. 天雷无妄. So for this cam here the first one is always 乾卦, then followed by 兑卦, followed by 离卦, 正卦. You know the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh dear. 正 second is what? What is the second trigram for earlier heaven 8 trigram? You just copy and paste this row. Copy and paste this row. You get the answer. Pepe. Okay, you just have a copy and paste to every trigram below. And you get the sequence. Follow me?